Oh, the dreaded duo repair. This came in with a blown fuse, and they all need cap jobs, so it's got a full cap job on it. There was only 2 caps that were really corroded. I believe they were both 22 microfarads. This one's almost always leaking. I don't remember, but that one probably is too. But almost all the rest of them looked fine. And the current problem is solid screen, with and without a hue card. We should be getting the BIOS screen right now. So I got the flashlight out, started looking around the board. The only thing that I can see is right here, right next to this U symbol. There appears to be 3 traces that had a little bit of green powder on top of them, which means corrosion. Somehow one little drip of something got on those traces, and I do not have continuity from the vias up here to the vias down here. Let me get a close-up and see if I can really show it.
It's about as close as I can get. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh yeah. You can see the corrosion pretty plainly. I'm doing this by hand, it's hard to get it steady. Let's see if I can go in a little more. Those 3 traces right there are what I'm going to try to work on. What I think I might try to do is scrape off the solder mask, expose some copper, and see if I can add some solder to them. Maybe lay some thin wire on top of them. If not, I can just solder from each via, since I've got fairly accessible vias on both ends of the trace. And we'll go from there and see what happens. Well, there's the fix. I wasn't able to put any solder onto the traces, so I had to actually take some wire out of some braided wire and try to solder it from the via to via, and it checks okay, but I still get the solid screen, so I got other problems.
As you can see, I still get solid screen. With and without the hue card. So then what I did was I started checking voltages, and we have 2 regulators on here, 2 5-volt rails, and I get 5 volts out of, or I think it was 4.9 something out of the left one and 4.85 out of this one, and it kept going down and down and down, so I shut it off, and I've actually got a short from the power rail to ground. I'll show that to you. Okay, if I go to voltage, turn on, take ground right from the power switch, and I'm touching the right leg, 4.9697, 4.98, 99. So it appears to be good, but if I hit the right leg of this chip, and I'm only getting a half a volt. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if it's different if I have the card in. Oh, it looks like something has died completely. So, like the continuity. You can see I have complete short to ground on that rail. Probably the first thing I'll do is simply just take out this regulator. Ooh, that is super hot. Just remove it from the circuit and just see if there's any difference in continuity or anything. Okay, the regulator has been pulled. And we'll check. Still there. So we've got some kind of chip or something somewhere shorting that rail to ground. And I've kind of been through this a little bit a couple times, and something you want to try to do is to look for, I've got a missing cap there. I'm sure that's not it, but what I want to look for is just a slight variance in ohms when going around the board. If you can find something that's less and less ohms, you might actually be closing in on the chip that is bad. Well, my main problem now is my multimeter only has a 0.1 ohm resolution, so everything is showing like 0.2, 0.1 short on the 5-aught rail to ground, so I can't, it's really hard for me to pinpoint anything. So I'm going to stop now, post this video, ask for some help, some guidance, maybe go to some forums and see if anybody has a clue where to start. The only thing I can think of is, if nobody has any ideas, to actually start removing chips, and all these surface mount packages are not fun to do that with, but it's not impossible either. But for now, I'm just going to post this and ask around and get back to it later.